Did anybody order any chocolate from Control Chocolate?
I know I sent that later.
Not
Can
yet.
come back.
Not
It
yet.
didn't seem like they were open until later. Or no, it said closed on Wednesday.
Oh, that was bad planning on our part, huh?
Oh, that's okay.
So
Come back.
we're not. So normally the route goes around through the neighborhood, but we're going to cut that short today because we're short on time. But I want to point out, if you look down here to my left, you see an alley. The road goes into an alley. That is Friendship Alley. Back in what year was it? 2019. Buku West received a $10,000 grant from the PS You Are Here program. And they asked the community what they wanted to do with it. That alley is a very popular alley for the kids to ride their bikes through to get to school and to walk through. And it was rat infested. It was a lot of garbage in it. It just looked really nasty. And so the community said we want to beautify that alley. So they spent $10,000, cleaned it up, put in some lighting, put in some artwork, and now the kids use that alley. Well, when they get back in school, they use that alley to ride their bikes back and forth to school. So, and then there's
that's going to Castro?
Monroe.
Oh, Monroe.
That's outside Monroe Elementary. And there is a community cleanup day next Saturday, a week from Saturday, September 26th, hosted by Go Westwood. And they're going to be picking up trash and doing cleanup in this neighborhood, including on that alley.
Good.
So if you want to come help make sure that those kids have a safe place,
Great.
Yeah, you can volunteer on that.
What is Go Westwood, Taylor, or who's involved in that organization?
It's run by Extreme Community Makeover, which their logo was also on Buku West building, so they partner on stuff. And I know that the event is usually in, I think, April or May every year, but they canceled it due to COVID, so they postponed it, did some rearrangements. Angela is the person that runs that. I can connect anyone.
Is called Go Westwood?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But people volunteer from all over the city for that.
Cool.
It's cool.
So if you notice, we are standing in front of a cornfield. Also, you see, there looks like you see maybe some peas, green beans or something, and then some tomato plants, which looks like maybe they were covered for the weather last week. So we are at Revision Co-op. So Westwood is a 67% of the community is at risk for obesity and diet-related illnesses. So the community formed this co-op, and this co-op's goal is to bring healthy food to the community. And so these are the fields that the co-op plants actually year-round. We saw some onions over the winter being planted in here, and they distribute this food. And we're going to walk through here to the actual physical building of the co-op, where local individuals have small businesses. There's a couple ladies that formed a tamale store in there. They sell the produce in there. And they actually have a CSA that you can get involved in. So all kinds of ways that this food is distributed throughout the community, and the community is engaged in growing this food. Mm-hmm. The chocolate store, the chocolate store, Frida Kahlo, the co-op are all part of a small business cooperative. They're trying to create more smaller businesses along in this area and along Morrison Road as well. So do you know anything more about the co-op you want to share?
Well, one of the other things I thought of when you were talking about the garden is I know these folks also will work with community residents to start gardens in their own yards, and they can actually come help you like set up your irrigation and everything, and they'll like help you do that so that you can grow food at home and then contribute your food to the CSA as well locally, which is pretty cool. And then the yellow building we'll walk past, La Casita, is basically like our de facto rec center right now that's community run. So they have yoga classes, they do Zumba, they have also like Spanish and English language learning classes, GED classes and stuff all for the neighborhood, which is pretty cool too. They offer a lot of stuff there for the community.
I was just looking at my notes. The name of the sub-co-op of Kahlo's in the chocolate store and so on is called Rise Westwood Collective. So it's another group to get involved with. So we're actually going to walk through the garden here, and then I'm going to point out the chocolate store, and then we're going to cross the boulevard. I almost want to say the boulevard. I feel like it's a boulevard. Morrison Road, and then go back to the park. So any questions or any comments that you want to share?
It's cool.
Be careful going over this log.
Just keeping people from driving through.
Yeah. Looks like
Oh yeah, we got some corn there.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful corn.
I was wondering if they were going to do
They
any
did
of
a
the
great
different
job.
species of corn. Looks like they've got the
Oh, this one's like red.
Look at this one. So this one's got multicolor. This is the multicolored emerald corn. So I led a walking tour in Oaxaca, Mexico. Look at this one over here. Look at
Yeah.
these.
Oh, beautiful.
There are 7 different varieties of mace. I want to say the Spanish variation of that. And then there's a blend. One of those varieties is the blended variety, which I don't know that this is it, but this is what it looks like in Mexico anyway. I don't know that this is the actual species. But
Those are beautiful.
so you've got a white, a yellow, red, purple, a black, and the mixed. And I don't remember the seventh
And there's
one.
the black one there too.
Is this the black one? Yeah, that's a different stock. Yeah. So, anyway, it looks like they're trying to grow some of those varieties here, which is great.
Do they have to do much to the soil here?
What?
You know, like the soil, do they have to do much to...
It looks like it looks like there's definitely
They've
a
got
different
irrigation.
soil type there than there is here. So when I was back here in January, yeah, here's the onions. Look at that. They've got some pretty rich soil, so they certainly have amended it.
I've also heard that they do, I don't know if it's weekly, but like almost farm to table.
And that may be what this is here. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay.
They have a few more this year.
How much is it?
Yeah. You know,
This is what my plant is supposed to look like.
I had one that
Oh
was
yeah, we
this
got some
big this year.
tomatillas.
Oh, really? Did it
All
fruit?
blossoms.
Yeah.
One.
One. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It just was terrible. Do you know if we need another one?
I have heard that tomatillas need to cross pollinate.
They do? With
I've heard
another
that.
tomatillo?
Yeah, I have heard that. I don't know. I have 2 plants.
And
so
are they producing?
oh, they're producing like crazy.
Well, that's the problem then, because I have one. Really, it is this big. Hugh just pulled it out.
Yeah, just get
And
big.
it's now what is that?
So that's their garden.
Corn too? I've never seen
Yeah.
corn that high. I wonder what that is.
I think that might be corn. Yeah. They know what they're doing here.
Oh, they sure do.
Look how tall that corn is over there.
Yeah, that's what we're
I
just
want to
looking
know
at.
what strain that is. That is
Yeah.
not normal. Coming from a corn growing area,
Yeah.
I recognize a little bit about corn.
Do you want to talk about the Villa Verde Loop?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, we can stay here. So part of where we haven't walked fully on the Villa Verde Loop because we walked on Morrison to focus on the artwork, but we're also showcasing the Westwood Villa Verde walking and biking loop that we'll also be talking about at Saturday's panel session. And so that has been a community-run project for a while now to try to make safer places for people to walk and bike to community destinations. So it's basically a 3-mile loop, circle-ish through the neighborhood that goes by all the parks, the schools, the library, a lot of community resources. And the next goal is to help make sure people know about it and make those safe places to walk and bike. So Cuatro Vientos is part of the loop. That's where we started. And then right here through Revision is part of the loop as well. Yeah. Oh, was there anything else I should say about that? This piece specifically, I'll go get a closer shot for everyone too. We can walk up closer. Was done by Santiago Jaramillo, and he runs the D3 Creative Arts that we'll walk by here. And he's a local artist that's been in this community for a really long time. I've been collaborating with him on some stuff, and he does a lot of art. So some of the pieces that we saw along the way were probably his too. He's done a lot of art here. But this piece you can see says Villa Verde, and so it was kind of an inspiration for he was inspired by the Villa Verde to create that piece, and you'll see like there's kind of some footprints integrated throughout it, and some really beautiful historic elements as well. So, yeah.
Right. So this stop here, I just want to point out Cultura Chocolate. This is a local Latina-owned bean to bar chocolate shop. Before COVID, they had a cafe. You could come in and order coffee and chocolate treats. Right now, you just have to order ahead. They make different types of bars and chocolates and so on. It is some of the best chocolate I've ever eaten. So
Yeah, it is.
definitely, they're a nice place to support if you have the opportunity and you can enjoy some chocolate. What I have done, I've taken my family. We've gone over to Carlos and gotten some vegan food to go. Gotten a brownie from the chocolate store, and then gone over to the Four Winds and had that for an evening, a Saturday night date night with the family. So a nice way to enjoy the neighborhood. So from here on out, we're just going to cross Morrison Road and then head back to the park. And we'll just be walking along the way. And if you have any questions or any final comments, you can think about those when we get back to the park, and we'll close there. Sound
We
good?
also got to see a polyflower.
Yeah, it was like great.
Yeah.
It's like Disney animatronics.
I'm gonna get a better shot of this mural for you guys.
No, I asked them that. That's what they said.
It's this beautiful piece by Santi. And then this is La Casita. Our community center I was talking about a bit ago. And Culturas Chocolate. I think that's something.
If you guys are ready, we'll go after that silver bug. Head over to that umbrella.
Yeah.
Is Swick still going?
Swick?
Swick?
Yeah. I'm not positive if they're open still. I know that they closed down a little bit for COVID.
Were they doing still a lot of after-school tutoring and food bank stuff?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like I heard actually that they closed their food bank with COVID. But I don't know if they've opened it back up. Because I know the libraries are open, well, kind of.
Yeah.
At least for like pickups and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And we share that building with the Westwood Library.
Right. Yeah, I can remember when they did the grand opening for it.
It's a neat little building.
I was so excited to see the library in there. I was amazed at how much they got into that library space.
Yeah, I think eventually they need a bigger spot, but
Oh, I'm sure they do.
it's good for now. Are you joining tomorrow's walk too? Sorry.
I think I had a meeting pop up.
Oh.
Where's
That happens. Sanderson Gulch. So that one's just a little further south of here.
Are you doing that one tomorrow?
No, Fung is. My coworker, Fung. She actually lives in Hardy Park, so.
Oh, does she? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys are kind of from the transit vein of this type of world. I just like to point out intersections like this because it's just a really interesting telling of time of how we think about transit and crossings and pedestrians over time in Denver. So we have this original sidewalk that how they came up with this dimension for width, I have no idea. because two people can't walk, one person can, a wheelchair cannot. Anyway, so this is historically what a lot of sidewalks look like in Denver, and you often find these in some of the lower income neighborhoods where these sidewalks have not been updated and they continue to persist as they are. And then you have the city coming in and putting in the new sidewalk, which is this, and then they put in these are called dot mats, which are signifiers to the visually impaired that they're at an intersection. The problem with these dot mats, and since a lot of these don't exist anymore like this, is if you're in a wheelchair, imagine coming here, you now roll across this, or you're blind, you come to this place, and it's directing you straight into the middle of the intersection, which is not a very safe way to cross the street. So what the city now has been doing, or that I've noticed, is they're now, a dot mat there and a dot mat here, getting you to cross correctly across the street rather than diagonally through the street. So anyway, I think we all know it's a learning process, and we all, as things are slowly getting better, I mean, obviously, well, I hope the city is no longer putting in this width, they're no longer putting in this style, and they're getting better. So, kudos to the city for doing better, because there's definitely places that needs to happen.
Well, and I think the reason these California curbs were put in was for drainage.
Okay.
Because they don't, you don't have the sewer and like you do in more of the established part of the city. The other thing is that, Westwood was annexed to the city. It was its own.
Yep.
And in order for Denver to get to more areas in the Southwest, this was one of them. And you have to, when you annex, it has to be contiguous. So this was annexed as part, and the standards here were never the same as they were for Denver.
Right.
But
But you'll see some of this in Park Hill too. And Park Hill's been part of the city forever.
Montclair's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But
Yeah.
I think it was for drainage, because you don't see any drainage,
Right.
storm sewers any place.
So lots
That's
of work
correct.
to do.
You won't see very many storm sewer grates. Like, walk up the next block and let me know if you even see one. We probably won't. There's like several blocks at a time where there's no grate. Because you live in Verde too. You guys have the same sidewalks. But definitely we are not putting in stuff like this anymore. There are new complete streets guidelines we're working on. It's just the retrofit is expensive. We got to put in stormwater, obviously. That stuff adds up. But it is a process.
Hi there. Hi. Thanks for saying good morning. Hi, you. Oh, you have to play with a toy, don't you? Hi. There you go. There it is. Oh, let me see if I can get it.
Give him back his ball. Perfect timing, 10:28.
Yes. Oh, excellent. Where are you doing the Zoom stuff, Phil? Back home or?
Yeah, I'm gonna just bike back home.
What's that?
I'm just gonna bike back home.
Yeah.
And tune in for our next session on Zoom,
Right.
the future of urban mobility. It's one of our shared studios global conversations. This intersection right here too is the future site of an intersection mural. We're hoping to install it in spring. Next year, we were going to do it this year, but we were going to have this wonderful big event and close down this block and have a big party, and it all got canceled due to COVID. So we're hoping to do this one next year. But come back next year and there will be a mural here.
And the one you just installed in Westwood is what cross street?
Is at Castro Elementary, so it's Lowell and Ada on the southern side. So we didn't get all the way that far south. And then next Saturday, the 26th, we're installing one at Monroe Elementary, where we almost walked to. So right over there, we're doing another one. And then there will be a fourth one. Oh, sorry. A fourth one will be going in at Westwood Park as well next year.
And are those like funded through the same pot of funds or?
Yeah, so they're all funded. So we got a grant through PSUR here in partnership with Buku West to do those 4 projects as well as another art project. So we, Denver Community Active Living Coalition is partnering with them on that project to fund those intersection murals.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I hope you learned a few things about this beautiful Westwood neighborhood and Morrison Road. You can follow me on Denver by Foot. I'm all over social on Denver by Foot. I've got my books with me if you want to buy a book. But I do want to point out the trees are starting to turn. One of my favorite places to enjoy the trees in the city of Denver is City Park. I was just there the other night. The trees are starting to turn. So beautiful weather right now. Smog or the smoke maybe not so much, but try to get out on foot and enjoy Denver and enjoy fall out on foot in Denver. Enjoy some of that fall color. So I thank you everybody for coming, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Good, excellent, super.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we hope to see you guys at future sessions, and let me know if you have any questions about anything. But tomorrow morning, same time, Chris and my coworker Fung are going to be leading the walk at Sanderson Gulch. So I'll send out the details for folks that are registered to that today, and then we'll be live streaming that one as well again. And Fung is a Harvey Park resident, so she's going to show you her neighborhood, and that's going to be awesome. And they mapped that walk together, so it's going to be a really great walk.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us.
Good year.
Have a great day. I'm going to walk back over to my bike. Yeah.
So we just received